Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. So before I begin, let's just watch a short clip from one of my favorite movies. And oh no, the title is that. I want you guys to guess the title. But okay, let's just watch it.
I met my father for the first time when I was 28 years old. When I had children, my children were going to know who their father was.
Yeah, Chris Gardner was doing his best.
We don't need two.
You don't need one?
Maybe next quarter.
It's possible. But his best wasn't enough.
Man, I got two questions for you. What do you do and how do you do it?
I'm a stockbroker.
Stockbroker. Oh. Hey, I'm gonna let you hang on to my car for the weekend, but I need it back for Monday.
Feed the meter.
I need the rent. I can't wait anymore. I need you out of here in the morning.
You gotta trust me, all right?
I trust you.
Because I'm getting a better job.
Let me see if I can find you an application for an internship.
Did Mom leave because of me?
Mom left because of Mom, and you didn't have anything to do with that. There's no salary.
No, I was not aware of that. My circumstances have changed some.
Dad, where are we going?
I don't know. Last year we had an intern score of 90% on the written exam. He wasn't chosen. It's not a simple pass-fail.
You're not quitting on this yet, are you?
Don't ever let somebody tell you you can't do something. Not even me. All right?
Alright.
Jay says you're pretty determined.
Where are you going? Go to that hospital! I'm in a competitive internship at Dean Witter.
He said you're smart.
This thing's impossible. I can do it.
No, you can't. No one can.
Good things happen.
You got a dream, you gotta protect it. People can't do something themselves. They want to tell you you can't do it. You want something, go get it. Period.
Okay, so I contemplated just showing like 30 seconds of the trailer, but it's such a good movie, so I just wanted to show the whole thing. And if you haven't caught the movie before, I strongly encourage that you guys go and do it. Okay, so you must be wondering like why this movie and why is she showing us this movie? So why I chose to show you guys this trailer is mainly because I've learned a lot from watching it. The story is about Chris Gardner. He went from, it's literally a rags to riches story whereby he was living on the streets with his son. He was queuing and struggling to get a bed at homeless shelters, and there was this scene where they were in a subway station and they were still living, staying overnight in the toilet. So this is the Chris Gardner that we see in the movie, but this is the Chris Gardner that we know today. So Chris has now become, or he's known to the world as a motivational speaker, entrepreneur, philanthropist, etc. And who would have thought that a man who was once living on the streets would now become this? So I've learned a lot from Chris's life and on my own personal journey as a social entrepreneur as well, and I hope to share that with you guys today. So what do you want to be when you grow up? This is something that all of us here have probably been asked, and it's a simple question. There's only like 10 words in it. It's nothing complex, but if you were to be able to answer it, it's really, really difficult. So if the person standing here today was the 4-year-old me, she would tell you that she would want to be a cashier at a grocery store. But as I grew older, I gravitated towards things like being a lawyer, and I dreamt of going to Harvard, dreamt of going to Yale. And when I discovered the show Suits, oh no, yeah, I thought I'd be like the next Harvey Specter or like Mike Ross. Yeah, because there are amazing lawyers in the show. But of course, deep down, I continued to ask myself if this was what I wanted, if this would bring me the sense of fulfillment and purpose that I was looking for. So this was when I was back in poly, and people were asking, what do you want to do with your life? And I was like, I have no clue, but maybe I'll be a lawyer. So, but there was a lot of uncertainty, there was a lot of questions that were going around my head, so I told myself, don't think about it, ignorance is bliss, just focus on graduating school and moving on. But graduation came and then it went, and everybody was still asking, what do you want to do? And I didn't know, so I started by taking that small step in doing what I was good at, which is what everyone was telling me to do. Go find something that you're good at, maybe make a job out of it. So I did. I thought I'd take a year off school, maybe carve a career for myself out of being a broadcast journalist, and maybe like work in a room like you'd see in the newsroom, or maybe editor-in-chief at Nat Geo, yay! Or like New York Times, dream come true. But so these were all really lofty ambitions, and I thought, okay, to start, baby steps, I would look for a writing job, and I did. So I ended up working in an office that looked a lot like this. I did it for like 4 months. Secretly, it was really, really miserable. But it was through this entire experience that I discovered that writing wasn't for me. As much as I was good at it, it was so difficult as a job. And but it was because of this discontentment that I felt that I arrived at this first lesson, which is that carving a career out of doing what you're good at is not for everyone. And it really wasn't the case for me. I was so unhappy. So, but I have to say that if it wasn't for this discontentment that I felt at my job, I wouldn't have discovered what I was passionate about, which is economic empowerment, social equality. And if it wasn't for the discontentment that I felt, I wouldn't have been able to marry my experiences as an intern at Beyond Social Services, where I was mingling and interacting a lot with the low-income families, learning about their lives, their circumstances. If I wouldn't have been able to marry all of that with my passion, I wouldn't have been able to start SaltSteps, Singapore's first social supermarket. So what we do at SaltSteps is we seek to improve the standard and quality of living of the marginalized communities in Singapore through the provision of household necessities like your rice, your oil, at a subsidized rate. So some of you may be wondering if this was something, if I ever imagined that I'd be here today having started my own social enterprise. And my answer is no, because I remember remarking once to a friend that I'm probably the last person you would expect to ever start a business, and I do not understand how people do it. But lo and behold, ta-da. So yes, so it's been a difficult journey. It's been quite a struggle as well, because I started SaltSteps with no prior knowledge about how social enterprises work, how the business works, how do you marry business and the social aspect. But Google was my best friend. Google gave me a lot of the answers that I was looking for. But yes, so, but aside from Google, it was amazing that I had the support of people like my dad, my family, and all the other resources, and people that I met along the way that encouraged me and spurred me on to keep doing what we were doing. And yeah, but that leads me to my second point, which is that when you find your passion, it's yours to keep, and no one can ever take that away from you. So this is very important, because for me, when I began my journey, a lot of people were asking me, do you have any idea what you're doing? What if you fail? What is a social enterprise? What is a social supermarket? So there were all these questions that were coming at me, and people were questioning the viability of the business model, and I didn't have the answers for them. I wasn't like, no, confirm plus chop, it will succeed one. No, I didn't even know, but all I know was that I had to try. So that's my third and like most important lesson, which is you have to try. And I did. So as much as this is a cliche, and it holds, but I didn't realize the full value that lies in this simple saying until I took that leap of faith myself and jumped into the deep end and started my own social enterprise. But I have to say that it's been a really fulfilling and a really interesting journey, and the amount that I've learned on the ground and doing this is so much more than I could have gotten by doing the writing job that I was doing. So my takeaway for you guys is the quote from the movie that says, you got a dream, you got to protect it. If people can't do something themselves, they're going to tell you you can't do it as well. So if you want to do something, go out and do it. So yeah, thank you.